Professor Louis from Woodstock, New York. Can you believe this is the summer in Novosibirsk, Siberia? Just kidding around. This is really November in Siberia. Novosibirsk summer looks just like this.
May 9, 2005, Aaron Louie Hurwitz, ex-member of the band and the leader of the group called Chromatics, visits Russia, the capital of Siberia, Novosibirsk. Often this city is called a Siberian Chicago. It is the third largest city in Russia after Moscow, St. Petersburg, with a population of 2 million people. CEO YMCA Smile Novosibirsk, Edward Chornik, had invited Professor Louis to come and teach Siberian kids to sing blues and jazz and help them making the right accents on the correct English pronunciation. Louis has his first tour of the city and has no idea what adventures await him in Russia, Siberia. He does meet his friend from motor town Detroit, Michael Libler. M.L. Libler is a professor of English at Wayne State University of Detroit and the current poet laureate of the St. Clair Shores, Michigan, USA. He was in Novosibirsk with some college exchange students from Wayne State University. M.L. Libler and Professor Louis present performances combing poetry, singing, and music.
Soldier's clothes, where he comes from, heaven only knows. And it's too much baggage, lays heavy on his soul.
So let's get back to our friend while he meets those YMCA kids, the vocal group called Tweeners. Let the four winds blow. Let them blow, let them blow. Do you sing them or them?
They keep...
No. It's them. Yeah, let's do it accordingly.
Yes.
Okay. Being a YMCA CEO of Novosibirsk, YMCA Smile, it was always a matter of education. Teaching kids various new things, including English through drama, music, and our goal was always to lead the kids to the best of everything. And my quest was to find someone in the United States who could give an introduction of jazz and blues, not only in terms of singing, but also in terms of education, what it is all about.
I like the way you walk, I like the way you talk, I like the way you talk. So let me hold your hand, so let me hold your hand. Please understand, please understand. I like the way you walk, I like the way you walk. I like the way you talk, I like the way you talk. So let me hold your hand, so let me hold your hand. Please understand.
Teach at his school, at Edward Schwarnick's school in Novosibirsk. To teach the tweeners how to sing and maybe work on a little more diction and to understand blues music.
He played with one of the really important seminal, bands of the 60s. That's called The Band. And that caught my attention immediately because I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and the band originated with Bob Dylan.
Eric Sjogren from Minneapolis, Minnesota, lives in Novosibirsk 14 years. He's a very prominent restaurant owner. He sponsored Professor Louis to come to Russia, and Professor Louis had played with local musicians for 3 nights in the bar New York Times.
The New York Times Club is more crowded every night of the week than the American clubs, with people having a good time to live music. People in America do go out every night, but they may go to a disco, they may go out to eat. For live music, it's hard to find places in America now where people go out 6, 7 nights a week and have a good time to a live band. And that is one thing that is very good here.
A very extraordinary situation. Local musicians meet Louie. Louie has no knowledge of Russian and their English is rather limited. But music helps them to speak a universal language, a language that has no boundaries, the blues.
Those 5 days that Louie was in Novosibirsk were the most happiest days of my life. I give the fate, so to say, to play the music I love with such a great musician and a wonderful person too.
There's a certain natural narcotic, natural pull that this music, rock and roll and blues have about telling the stories of people's lives, about creating a certain emotion and feeling that you just don't need language to understand.
Musicians in Novosibirsk, the type of blues I play reflects very much and intermingles very much with the blues that they have grown up with in terms of the folk music. It's just called something else, but it is the same as music from the people, and the heart of the people is always very similar.
But what can you do?
And I've always enjoyed watching other people become creative, because as a leader, I don't have to do everything all the time. So it is interesting to watch them start expanding and doing their thing with my original music or other music I might have written or have interpreted. And I find that the most rewarding when they're enjoying it and they're saying to me, let's play this song, let's play that song, because I'm enjoying playing it and I'm enjoying how it's being interpreted, and you're also allowing me, as the other musician, allowing me to be myself, do my thing.
No division, heart and soul.
The passion and love for blues that Russians have can be traced back to Soviet times. Then Soviet people were seeking for the roots of other cultures, capitalistic jazz, blues. Such music gave them an opportunity to seek emotional pleasure. Of course, then Russian musicians play rock or blues the way they comprehend it. That is the one style. But then they have a chance to turn to or even play with the original source or the composer, like Louie. That is a completely different matter. I wanted to share with many people that when I had heard Professor Lуи play for the first time, even alone on a piano, I was so blown away by his inner drive.
All night long. All night long. All night long. All night long. Baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long. Baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long.
Baby loves the boogie and she loves the boogie all night long.
Though I always think this is true, but you probably never appreciate how much of an impact Russia will make on this guy.
We're sitting by the trains in Novosibirsk time. We've been singing about the trains in Novosibirsk time. Well, I ain't had much rest, but nobody seems to care. 'Cause we all love the trains 'cause they go up and down the line. Well, we all love the trains 'cause they go up and down the line. Well, I'm sitting right here just waiting for the time.
Xenia was the bravest of all five who had volunteered to do a solo of Summertime.
Fish are jumping and the cotton is fine.
Twinners became as a group in March 2004, winners of the Metropolitan City Vocal Contest sponsored by the YMCA Smile.
Louie is a very interesting person and multi-talented. I sense that he loves what he does, and he is very musically oriented.
One thing I can say that honestly is the kids that I worked with are very good, very sincere, and very loving, and you can feel that. And I feel the warmth of the people wanting them to do well. And that is something that I think is most important, because I think that's how else are they going to learn? And how else are they going to feel wanted in situations? And that's something that I will bring back, because that's important.
Tight daily schedule, rehearsals, concerts in the evenings at clubs, sessions with the kids in the afternoons. Please have in mind that when it was daytime in Novosibirsk, it was night in Woodstock. 11 hours time difference. YMCA Smile supports and sponsors a very talented and musically gifted boy, Dima. He has multiple sclerosis. He studies at home, rarely goes out. Music is his passion and an only link to the outside world.
Give it. My handshake and I'll give you this. Now I got it.
What's the name?
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas Chapel. Well, I'm sitting in St. Nicholas Chapel in the middle of the square. Well, I'm sitting in St. Nicholas Chapel right in the middle of the square. You know, it's where east meets west, where west meets east in the stair.
To the heights of musical creativity and mastership leads this staircase. Professor Lui is the guest of the Novosibirsk Conservatory. He meets his colleagues, accordion has a Russian brother, Bayan, which is a big celebrity of the conservatory and it costs $10,000. East meets West. Russian folk tunes only for our American guest.
When I hear the folk music of Russia, it is the blues because if we try to define what blues is, it is a feeling. It is a feeling from people who have lived what they're singing about and what they've played. So when you hear old folk songs from Russia or any part of the world, essentially it is a great feeling. They are singing about what they've lived, and it is a feeling of the blues.
An attempt was made to play all together. A final chord turned out wrong.